Hello, friends. I am so excited to be here today. I am Tiana with TianaSmithCoaching.com, and today is day one of the 5-day or 5-part six-figure systems to success. This is my six-figure launch boot camp, and what that really means is I'm going to be giving you the behind-the-scenes strategies, systems, checklists for what you truly need in place to create an extra six-figure a year or even six-figure a month coaching / group coaching or course business. If you can put a 1 in the comments, first of all, we're going to do some housekeeping things and getting started things. Let's just make sure everything's working properly. So if you could put 1 in the comments, if you can see me and hear me, I would really appreciate it. Hello. Let me know if you're watching live or in replay. These replays will be available for up to 24 hours, and then I take them down so that people can watch them then on the replay link. So 1 in the comments, let me know where you're coming in from. A huge part of getting to grow a global brand. Great, Boise, Idaho. I love that. One of my clients, I believe, is in, I'm not sure if it's Boise, but she's in Idaho right now doing her business on the go, part of her dreams. So glad to have you here. Let me know if you're live, if you're in replay. And so for those of you a part of this in my private VIP program, let me break it down how this 5 days is going to go to give you a heads up on how you can stay qualified for a scholarship as well as special gifts. Put a number 2 in the comments or say gifts if you love presents. So every day, I'm going to be seeing who is the most engaged, and me and my team are going to go through comments, go through the videos, the comments in the Facebook group that I'm in, and we're going to see who's the most engaged and have things like Amazon gift cards, Starbucks gift card, some scholarships on Wednesday and Friday this week for some of my programs. So you want to stay engaged. So let me share with you how to stay really qualified and why I do it this way. Number 1 is this. We all know that nothing is ever truly free, or if it is, it's because you put an investment there. And so what I mean by that is this. I'm truly showing up, and actually my six-figure club members who pay between $1K a month up to $10, $20, $30K to work with me, I'm live streaming this to them as well. So you need to know that if you're watching this and it's part of my free boot camp right now, I'm literally giving to you my exact systems, which we're going to talk about this checklist in page 1 today, for free. Now, the thing is, though, that what I'm asking of you is to be present. I am sharing with you my best of the best advice, the things that took me years and years and years to learn, and I've been able to streamline it into a Cliff Notes version of it, okay? And so what I want to share with you to do is to just be present, is to shut down all other windows, and is to commit to watching the live stream live if you're able to at 12 Eastern every day this week. Or if you can't watch it live and you know that, set a time that you're actually going to watch it live. Every day following the live stream, I already have it scheduled in your daily homework, which is essentially your action steps. What are you going to do to take action? This 5 days is meant to give you a building blocks foundation to move yourself forward. So even clients of mine who work with me one-on-one can apply this right now. This will help everything solidify. And if you're not a one-on-one client or a group client of mine, I truly am giving you steps so that you can take action every day and really start to watch your business grow. So put a number 7 in the comments right now if you would like to see yourself have made progress between now and Friday and even attracted some new paying clients. Put a 7 in the comments right now, or say clients or the cash sign. Any of those things will do if you're ready to truly make progress. And that's what I'm going to be sharing with you this week. Every day we're going to build it from a specific order. Something about me is I have grown my business and helped others grow their businesses. It's not just about online marketing. I'm teaching you how to start or scale and grow a 6 to 7 figure income stream with these systems. So put a number 11, because this is a level 11 thing. It's not 1 through 10. It's a level 11. Put level 11 in the comments, 11, or you can type out the whole level 11. If you're ready to actually learn about how you build a business, not not just Instagram marketing or a story marketing. No, I'm going to share with you day by day by day. And this isn't going to be full of me interviewing people. You're getting me as your strategist and coach. I have testimonial after testimonial. I'll put them in the comments. You can always write to me for that. You know, this is not a challenge though, where I'm trying to be like, look at how great these other people have done. No, I'm telling you, we're going to strategize together. This can change your life, your business forever if you follow these steps. At the end, on Wednesday and on Friday, just a heads up, I will be giving an opportunity for the 5 scholarships that I have, the availability to get an amazing case study pricing with me. If you want to get on that list ahead of time, you can send me a message. I will only have 5 scholarship pricings, and the rest will be at my full price. Every time I run one of these boot camps, I offer a few people who are ready to take action, pay in full, or have a payment plan. So just a heads up, I will be offering that to you. But now it's time to get to business. So put the number 1 in the comments if you're ready to shut down your windows, to get a pen and paper out, or hopefully you already printed this. If you did not, don't worry about it. Print it after this call. Don't worry about all the printer stuff right now. Get to it later. Just get a pen and paper out, have a little notepad ready, and let's get to this, okay? So 1 in the comments if you're ready to get to it. Okay, so let's get going. So number 1 is in the group, in the Facebook group, I have given a PDF printable, and I'm going to share my screen today. So like I said, I'm going to share my screen. This is what it looks like. And we're going to turn to page 1. I'm like a teacher right now. Ready? Okay. And so we're going to turn to page 1, which is your systems checklist. Why do we start with the systems? Because friends, as we go through this week and it progresses, we will be, and just so you guys know, I will answer all your questions, put them all in the comments. I will come through them either at the end of this live stream or answer them on the next day's live stream. If there's any tech questions about the PDF, things like that, it's pinned in the Facebook group. If you're not in my private VIP coaching Facebook group, you'll need to get in there to get access to that. And my amazing, funnel and techie expert, Gerald, who is also my right-hand man in my company. If you see Gerald popping up on here answering your questions, he's with me. Gerald's with me. Gerald, if you want to say hi, and Gerald will answer any questions as we go, but we'll wait till the end to I will actually scroll back any questions. I'm going to do live coaching, live strategy, but really you want to, again, like I said, set a timer for every day this week, because some of these things I may answer on the next coaching call. We're going to build this like we're building a house. So when we build a house, we need the framework. So today I'm going to talk to you about the framework. Okay. So let's get started. So I'm going to share my screen. Let's go do it. Here we go. Okay, if you can put a number 7 in the comments again for me. I love the number 7. If you can see me, hear me, and see my screen. I just want to double check. If you can see me, hear me, and see my screen, just let me know in the comments right now that you can see me, hear me, and see my screen. And then I have to come over here to actually see that you guys can do that. Okay, so let's go over here. And here's the systems checklist, okay? So can you guys just put number 7 if you guys can do that? I would really appreciate it. I'm not seeing it yet. So before I dive in, I'm trying to find, there's a delay sometimes. Okay, I'm seeing the 7. Okay, let's keep going. Okay, so here's page 1. Now let's go to page 2, which is what we're going to start to talk about. And I'm going to share my screen and walk you through what this actually looks like, okay? So number 1 is part of your checklist, and there's several different pages to this when you get it. And actually on Thursday, I'm actually giving you guys a different PDF as well. So we do this all in layers. The point of this is to keep you engaged, to keep you coming in. You know, you're an adult. This is your business, so you get to do that too. Okay, choose a consistent name or brand name. All right, what does that actually mean? Choose a consistent name or brand name. All right. So many times online, I work with my clients, and it's so important that that everything is matching online. You know, think about big brand names. I like to use that as an example first, like Macy's, Anthropologie, it could be McDonald's, Pepsi. Let's start to name some big brand names. Actually, what I'd love you to do instead of just name random ones, I'd love to know some companies. It could be clothing, it could be celebrities, it could be entrepreneurs that you love. Put them in the comments. Who do you follow online? Is it an author? Is it a course creator? Is it a musician? Is it a celebrity? Put it in the comments right now. I'd love to see, because I'm going to share with you a little trick. Okay. You guys ready for the trick about the consistent name, brand name? Okay. So we're going to do that first. So here's the thing. Are you guys ready to let go of maybe some walls around like, oh, that's going to take too long, or that tech thing? I really want you to come to this with an open mind and a very solutions oriented attitude, because some things that I'm actually going to share today, it's going to require that you go do some work today, and it might make you feel uncomfortable. But the things that I'm going to share are time tested and proven, and I'm never going to say something to you that is not proven. Not just that I've proven in my business, but the hundreds to thousands of people that I've actually worked with. Okay. So Corinne Crabtree, I love it. I have a feeling that's one of my clients. She loves her. I love her too. She's great, got a great brand. So yeah, put in the comments if there's an author, if there's a celebrity, if there's a speaker, if there's just a company that you like. It can be anything. It can be, like I said, clothing. So put that in. Who I like is Anthropologie. So anytime I go to find Anthropologie, the clothing store, whether it's their website, whether it's their Instagram, or whether it's their Facebook, it's always called Anthropologie. All of you guys need to understand that you are your brand. So unless you are building a specific Anthropologie-esque brand or some other company name, which is fine also, but if you're a coach, a consultant, or a course creator, even if you've got something like mine is called the 6-Figure Club or the 6-Figure Launch Bootcamp, which leads people to my 6-Figure Club, I'm still Tiana Smith. Right? So I own TianaSmithCoaching.com. If you find me on Instagram, it's at Tiana_Smith_coaching. Exactly. Mel Robbins. We like Brighton Brand and Tom Clancy's designs. Okay, awesome. This is perfect. Yes, it could be artists. It could be musicians. Adele. Anytime you find Adele, it's her website is Adele. We all know Adele. Now, listen, sometimes celebrities have different companies they run. They could have a clothing thing, right? And that clothing brand is underneath their name. But that doesn't change that we all know them because of their name. So Mel Robbins, for example, has written several different books, right? Lisa Boulay, Patrice Washington, Sarah Jakes Roberts. Awesome. I don't know who Patrice Washington is, but I know Lisa Boulay, and I don't know if I'm saying her last name. She's married to, is it Tom Boulay, who does the Impact Theory, right? And she's got her show. That's a great example. Let me explain why. Both of them are married and they have a brand together. I think, don't they own Quest? Quest Nutrition, which has like the protein bars and stuff. So even with her brand, Lisa Boulay, and her husband, they do stuff together, but they each have their own brand, right? They each have their own following. When they come together, it hits up all their followers. Also, they have a company. So we've got Lisa, we've got, is it Tom? I'm like, I need to search it up, but I just want to stay present in this moment with you. And then they have a company name, which is under both of them. And then she's got books, or she has a TV show. He has a TV show, but each of them has their own brand. This is a great example. So what you need to realize is that you are your own brand, whether it's Marie Forleo, Oprah Winfrey, Tyler Perry, Joel Osteen. He runs a church, a mega church, but he also is an author. So he has his own brand. His church might have his own website. Do you see what I mean? So what you need to know is where people find you, everything should be consistent. So that's why the number one thing at the very top is you need to do an audit of your social media, your website domains, and make sure everything is matching. That might mean you need to today go and do some work. So you need to make a note beside your choose a consistent name, brand name. And let me share with you what that looks like. Okay, everybody, put a number 3 in the comments if you're with me. So for example, this is a Facebook profile, but I also have a Facebook business page, right? So if I come over here to my Facebook business page, it's Tiana Smith Coaching. If I go to my website, it's Tiana Smith Coaching, because Tiana Smith wasn't available. So what I had to do was get creative. Okay, so you can still brand your name. See how I still just put my name up top, because I actually mostly just go by Tiana. But I do Tiana Smith Coaching, and same over here on Instagram.com/Tiana_Smith_coaching. So what I really encourage you guys to do today is to make sure that everywhere that people find you is consistent. So put a number 5 in the comments if you need to go work on that today. And what you need to do is put a little note up here and be like, IG, LinkedIn, Facebook, website domain, you need to make sure it's all matching as close as possible. Now, sometimes your domain name may need to be a little different depending on who owns a domain name. And you can put that in the group, like, hey, Tiana, tag me, like, I was able to find this. So what that looks like is, if anybody there is a replay, absolutely. If you need the replay, make sure you're in our Facebook group, because it will come down publicly, because I actually put this on a page. All this training is not free past Friday. So after one day, each replay is taken down. And then on Friday, I give the opportunity where you can buy all the replays, keep them with the playbook and all that for a few $100s. But after this week, but it's worth way more than that. Hey. So yes, here's that. So choose your consistent brand name brand. So put a C in the comments for consistent, or type out consistent if you feel like spelling. C in the comments, the letter C in the comments if you are taking care of this today. This is step one. You got to just make it happen. This is what I mean about every day I'm giving you actual action steps, okay? That's number one. Don't worry, all these we breeze through. These are all interconnected to here. Again, this is what I'm talking about. We do this in a very foundational, systemized way, okay? Framework. C, yes, taking care of it. Okay, there's one. Then number two is the same thing. Make sure all website social handles are consistent. So back to part one really fast. If you've not decided what you want to call yourself online, you got to get that set and steady, okay? Now, number three on the checklist is consistent branding across all platforms: logo, colors, fonts. All right, let's talk about this for a second. All right, you literally get 3 seconds. It's really like 2. Let's just say 2. You get 2 seconds. I want you to listen to this. 2 seconds for somebody to just see that Instagram, see that website. They're probably actually not going to see your website. They're going to probably see your Facebook, your LinkedIn, or your Instagram, and then decide later if they actually want to click on your website. You get 2 seconds, friends, for them to make a decision if they even want to scroll or press follow. 2 seconds. Boom, boom. So your branding, put the number 2 right now. Everybody, I want to see it flooded. 2 seconds, 2 seconds. That's it. For them to make that split-second decision. That's where this comes from. If they want to press follow or like. Remember that they don't know you. This isn't personal here. This is about them. You need to understand that your followers is about them. So how are you coming across? This is not about you. This is about them. So how are you portraying yourself in a way that would grab somebody's attention who's never met you before? And so this is a feeling. This is a deeper thing than the messaging or even the logo and all that. The logo, the branding matters because it should give them a feeling of what you're all about. So for example, I love pink and red and black and white and all the colors. I typically like to dress in pink and with black and white jeans and black. Like, I'm very much a basic kind of person. I'm not basic, clearly, but basics in the sense, like, I like to pair certain things underneath with brighter color makeup or red lipstick. That's just how I like to dress. I love black, like I said, white. So thank you for the quotes. I appreciate that. Sounded so good. Thanks, Amy. So what about you? Do you know what you like? Now, when I say that, I understand that some people, weirdly enough, are offended by my bright lipstick. So I think it's hilarious, and there's nobody I would ever want to work with. So I continue to be me. So why I'm sharing this is we're going to go on a little bit of a deep dive here. You guys ready for it? Put it number 5 in the comments if you're ready to do some dives into how feelings, how branding is all connected. But ultimately, it's not about you, but it is. It's like this it can sound confusing. So I'm going to walk you through it. Okay, so why I say that is when I show up here on a live stream, I understand some strangers or people who've never seen me before are going to see me and they're going to be like, who is this chick with like bright red lipstick or bright pink, this and that? And to me, it doesn't matter then because I'm being my authentic self. But when we talk about your digital branding online, representing who you are, this also represents who I am. This is a great representation. But when somebody goes online, they may not see your video yet. They probably don't know you. They've never met you. They don't know what a great person you are. All that they're thinking is they're scrolling And your first job is to grab attention. So put number one, grab attention. Type that in the comments. And the reason I say and do all this is to keep you engaged. When you're engaged, then you remember more. So it's almost like you're teaching yourself by typing up or saying things out loud, and even say it out loud. You know, I taught music for years and years, and grab attention, right? So really writing, my first job is to grab attention, because that's really your first job. So the 2 seconds that you get, how do you grab their attention? Well, that's going to be done by the vibe that you're putting out there immediately on a post, on a header. All that is that vibe, which is your branding, your messaging, which is first design and then the words. They don't have time to read all your words in 2 seconds. That's why you really want to lead with well done designs and shapes. So even certain shapes online actually give people certain feelings. And this is part of why I say to outsource branding, because most people do not have the knowledge or the design wherewithal to be able to do this. Some of you may, but that might be just because you're naturally artistic or you have a good eye. Most people just don't, and that's okay. So rather than being hard on yourself about it, you need to grab. We're not going to talk about how do you get this done right now. I just want you to understand how important it is, and then you can decide which steps you're willing to take, where you're willing to invest. But understand that if you don't have professional designed images and branding and logos and colors, I'm going to give you some examples right now, some solutions, okay, that you are leaving a lot of money on the table. Because what's happening is people are just going to keep scrolling by your posts because they're not well designed. The eye is the first thing. If you were walking down the street, think about the Matrix. Who's seen the Matrix on here? Type Matrix, or M for Matrix. Matrix. Have you seen the Matrix? And remember when Neo goes into the training area and he's walking down the street and everybody's just rushing about. And then there's the chick with the red dress, right? Really pretty. But it's not just that. She looks different than the rest. She's really well put together. Why did he get distracted? Because she grabbed his attention. And that's what you need to do for your prospects and clients in this feed of so much going on. This is why pictures, designs, and branding really matters. So there is a 3-part thing going on here that people don't like to talk about. And it's because most people aren't able and don't have the knowledge to teach you about all of them. And thankfully, since I started pursuing things at 11, getting paid at 16, and been in marketing all this time, music industry, marketing, monetization, and I studied design and funnels, and I have my master's, I actually have a very unique experience to be able to share this with you, with a lot of success for myself and my clients. And what I'm talking about is this. There's design and branding. Then there's your systems that you need in place to automate the leads. And then there's marketing and monetization strategies when that's in place, so that you know how to connect with people, you know how to message people, and sales training. And you truly need all these things to actually create a 6- and 7-figure business. So a lot of times people will be like, oh, just build this course and they'll come to you. But like, even if your course is amazing and you're an incredible coach, if your graphics are off, my friends, you're missing that first step, which is to grab somebody's attention. Okay, so you got to figure it out. And just so you know, this week I'm going to talk to you about more tools for that. This is a breakdown of things that you want to start thinking about and going through today. And I don't want you to feel so pressured about it or be like, I have to do all these things. No, we're going to take this step by step. Type step by step in the comments. And what I'm teaching you is the overview, beginning with the end in mind. Put that if you want to type it out, or you can just think about it. Begin with the end in mind. I want to share with you what it really looks like. And then we're going to start to talk about solutions of how to get this stuff done. So as you're going through this checklist, rather than looking at it like, oh, I don't even have any of it. If you don't have any of it, that's okay. One thing at a time. You're going to go through it a lot faster if you just stay the course. Stay the course. This is essentially like a mini course, a masterclass, a boot camp this week. And I'm going to teach you how to get through it. Some of these things I do recommend you outsource for, whether you choose me or somebody else. There are those steps, but I'm going to give you the goods anyway, because I think it's really important to me to educate you on what's truly required. So go through this list this week. I'm going to keep walking you through it right now. But as you're going through it, let overwhelm go. Overwhelm doesn't serve any of us. Shame doesn't serve any of us. Guilt that it's not already done. Those things they're not good feelings. They're going to lower your vibration and keep you stuck. Instead, you really just want to say, new day, new way. This is great information. Like, you know, when you go to school, like, let's just talk mindset for a minute, right? Everybody ready for a little mindset break? Say mindset break. Hey, 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 mindset break. Here's our mindset break. When you go to school and you've got all these classes in a day, remember in high school, I don't know about you, but in my high school, we had about 50 minutes per class, and then we switched. We had a 10-minute break and we switched. We had lunch and then, 50 minutes, 10-minute break. Imagine if you, instead of feeling all this overwhelmed, you looked at your business like that. You're like, okay, for the next 50 minutes, I'm going to work on my consistent name and brand name. And you set a timer. And even for 20 minutes, and you started to just get disciplined. This really is more about requiring taking action steps every day. Imagine doing this every day, doing the homework every day. Do you know how far you'd be in 5 days? Do you know how far you'd be in 30 days? Imagine investing and getting somebody who knows what they're doing. This stuff doesn't need to take forever. And I just want to also remind you, you can only do things. We only have so much time in a day. You absolutely can compound that with the correct help and strategies and monetization. However, I just want to encourage you to not go into those other spaces, to stay in an action-oriented mindset and like, whoa, we're going to do this. We're going to do this. Okay, that's where I want you to stay. Okay, mindset break. Let's go back. Okay. So consistent branding, logos, colors, fonts. Let's talk about it, okay? Let's go talk about the next few steps. So here's our few steps. Consistent branding, consistent messaging, and then what we're going to look at is your Facebook, the Instagram, hosting. I'm starting to give you guys some of these things. Please don't sign up with these yet. I'm just putting them in here because I think it's really important to understand your systems. Really, we're going to focus on these pieces right now, the branding, the messaging, the Facebook and LinkedIn headers up. Okay, so let's go and look at all this. If I go over here to here, you can see that my branding is always going to be the same fonts, the same colors. So fonts, this is what I do. And messaging is the words you use to describe what you do. So let's say somebody came to your Instagram. It's a little different. It's your grid that they're going to see your branding. It's a little different than going to a website, right? So every kind of place is a little bit different, but it still gives us a lot of opportunities to share who we are, our brand, from the header on Facebook to the grid on Instagram to your header on LinkedIn and to your website. Everybody with me? What you need to start to do is your messaging needs to be very consistent. What is it that you do? So again, consistent name. What is it that you do? Okay. And then if you have a free offer, we're going to talk about your funnels and automation later this week. So what you want to take a look at yourself is you need to do an audit. You need to audit yourself. AUDIT. Put a number 4 in the comments if you're ready to audit yourself today. And you need to go through this checklist and you need to see if you need to go change your name. And then just change the name. Be in action today. 2, you need to make sure all of the social handles are consistent. 3, consistent branding. This part you might need to outsource. Like I'm going to come over here to my Canva real quick and share with you like what I do for people. So if you go to my brand kit here in Canva, and this is what I set up for other clients, I've got a 6-figure club brand, and then I have my Tiana brand. So there's TS Coaching and 6-figure club. It has very similar colors. There's just a little bit of a pop of color with 6-figure club so that it could stand out a little bit. Okay. So when I go, I'm just sharing with you what this looks like when it's inside of, inside of Canva. So it can actually, really create these things for you. So let's say I was creating a story for this free training that I was doing, and I was working with Gerald on this. Do you notice that everything is the same kind of colors? It's the same kind of font. It's giving them the information that they need. It's the same kind of pictures. And if you come over here to my Tiana Smith Coaching, same thing. I'm using consistent branding. Put a number 8 in the comments if you're understanding what I'm saying. And again, what this does is this helps people to really understand who you are as a brand. It's eye-catching. It's going to grab their attention. And it's very important that you have this all consistent. So if I were you today, here's what I would do. I would start with this checklist and go through it. And even if you don't have logos, colors, fonts, you can go into Canva without even a professional, and you can come into a brand kit and see these down here. You can choose your brand fonts here. If you don't have the $12.95 a month Canva, just get it already. Like if you're making excuses why you can't afford $12.95 a month, guys, like you can't scale to six figures, then that's never going to happen. So I'm talking to people who are ready to invest in themselves. These are small little fees compared to how much money you can make online. And so having your colors, having your Instagram templates. So these are like Instagram templates, right? Let's talk about templates. It's really important that you have content that's branded so that you're elevating yourself. Let me go look at our Facebook group really quick. Let me go to Facebook and look at what we're talking about each day. So if you're not in the Facebook group, let's go over here and let's talk about it. One second. Okay. So each day this week, we're going to be building on different things, but we're going to cover all of this in depth. So today we're talking about the systems checklist. Tomorrow, we're going to talk about creating the high value, high ticket program. And on Wednesday, we're going to go really deep dive into the art of Luxe branding, look high ticket to attract high ticket. And the reason that I'm overviewing this right now is to give you that as a heads up. So I really recommend, if you want to keep up, first of all, of course, you can hire me. You can send me a message. But even this week, go and play with your brand kit in Canva. Go decide on some text, keep it consistent. You want it legible. Decide on some colors. And again, you can go over here to Pinterest. I'm just giving you some industry secrets. And you can come to Pinterest and you can go here and you can search color palettes. Right? I think there's actually even a thing with, and you can search things that you like. So let's say so if somebody wants to put in the comments, what's a couple colors you love? You can start to create some color palettes like this one. This is actually going to give you the color hex codes. I understand that most people just don't know how to do all this. This is why I say this is actually something I recommend outsourcing. I would be happy to do that for you. Me and my team have a brand kit essential program. It's one of my lower items. It's still high ticket, still a few $1,000s, but if you were interested in that, we can do a payment plan. But the point is that it's really important to really get this up, because again, it's going to be very difficult to grab attention if you have inconsistent branding. It's hard to say I'm charging $1,000, $5,000, $10,000 for something, because tomorrow when we start to talk about high value, high ticket packaging, if your stuff doesn't look consistent. So this is why I'm starting you off with a checklist. Even if it's not the best you could get going, you could still make it better. So there's a whole saying that says, you do your best until you know to do better, and then you do that. So if you learn to just go all in on yourself and do better, then you can do better at that point. So say, better, better, better in the comments. So today's homework, you're going to see it pop up in the group. If you're not in the group, some awesome people have been in here. You can click on it to request to join. Here's what I recommend you do. You want to print out the entire PDF, there's lots of other things we're going to be talking about this week. So you'll get a little heads up on where we're going with this. You're going to print out this one and start to go through what you have in place. You're kind of doing an audit of your own online presence. Okay. And then the things you can work on between now and tomorrow, before we start to talk about high ticket, high value packaging, is you can, again, make sure that everything is consistent online. You can play with Canva. You can upgrade your Canva, get the branded one, the $12.95. And again, do not spend a ton of time doing that. There's lots of different things I talk about, but the truth is, if you're not a professional designer, you're only going to get so far with it, but you can start. If you don't have the budget to hire somebody else out, you can use other sites for this. But ultimately, if you're talking about growing a 6- and 7-figure business, and we're talking about, investing $10,000 into something, but you're able to make $100,000, like that's a $90K profit. So I want you to also start to really think about this in a much different way. The other thing that I really recommend you start to do from a mindset perspective is listen to You Were Born Rich by Bob Proctor this week. And so you could listen to 2 chapters a day and be done with it by Friday. I think that's only about 15 minutes a chapter. It's on YouTube. Why do I say that? Because if you don't believe that it's possible for you to make $10,000 a month, $20,000 a month, $30,000 a month, then you're going to just not do these steps. But if you start to believe it's possible, even if you're a little, what's the word? Like not negative, but you're just like, I don't know, but I want to believe that it's possible. And let me share some mindset things with you before we go into this homework and we call it a day for today. So put in the comments right now. I'd love to know actually if somebody would like to share and be vulnerable. How much do you want to be making in your business? Like how much per month would you dream to be making? I'd love to know a now goal, like a 90-day goal. And I'd love to know a longer term goal, like a year from now or 3 years from now. Where do you see yourself going in your business, right? Because even though we started with this checklist and we're starting with the branding, mindset is an essential part of this. And every day at the beginning of our trainings for this week, I'm really going to be leading with mindset, right? And so You Were Born Rich. Thanks for that, Amy. So you want to put in the comment, you can go and listen to the whole book. And why that book changed my life was I went to an event years ago, and I'd driven a few friends. They were on a business team of mine at the time. I'd paid for everybody's tickets. I'd paid for the hotel stay. We drove to downtown LA. We went to this event, and I was so bummed because instead of giving business to-dos and checklists, they talked all about mindset. And honestly, I was so frustrated. I had left my kids overnight. I had not by themselves, like with, with their dad. But I'd left them. I didn't like to leave them. They were really young at the time. I'd taken all these people. I had invested pretty much I probably only had $100 left after the end of this weekend. And I was like going all in, trying to learn from these millionaires in this private event that I'd been invited to. And then when they were talking about mindset, I was like, I can't believe I drove all the way down here to learn about this. But let me tell you right now that meeting changed my life forever. And I'm going to give you a few reasons why. One is one of the trainers there, all three of them had gone millionaires. It was a married couple and this one other guy that was their best friend who got them into this business together. And at the time when I had signed up for their business, one was like a mechanic and was barely getting by and had all these kids with his wife. And then the other guy, I'm not sure of his backstory, but the point is they worked together and they both started discovering, all three of them, these mindset books. And a couple that they recommended, and this was one of them, was You Were Born Rich by Bob Proctor. And so I wrote it down when they told me to read it. I was like, oh, whatever. I mean, I came here. I might as well change my attitude and listen to what they say. So that's my first hint. And as they say, success leaves clues. And I'm giving you that as a very clear clue to go listen to it, because you've got to be able to believe and receive that it's possible. So that was one, was to listen and to read that book. Number two was this. The one millionaire mentor, Lenny, said, put a timer on your phone for 3 times a day that has the affirmation. If you've never made 10K a month, that this is what it should say. And I'll type it up for you guys, or if one of you guys wants to write it down. I have an extra $10,000 or more coming to my bank account by or before. And so, for example, if you want an extra $10,000 by or before, like this month, you would put an affirmation in your phone, so the timer, and I'll share with you, you can do it 3 times a day, or you can even go above and beyond and do it 10 times a day. So let me share with you. So see these alarms? And then you actually would say, I have an extra, you could say 10,000, 100,000. If you've never hit 10,000, you want to really start with 10,000. And then once you hit 10,000, you start to double it. When I did that, let me share with you, when I did that, I had never even made $5,000 a month. I was making about $2,500 a month. And I had these 2 little kids. Yes, I already had my master's degree, but I didn't really think it was possible for me. I'd never heard of women and moms at that time in my life who made that kind of money. Even what I made, I had never seen in the society I grew up in. I had the music business. I was a preacher's daughter. My mom didn't work. And there's nothing wrong with that. Everybody has their own choice. And so again, this is all about your choices. When I became a single mom, though, and had to up-level things really quickly to provide for me and my kids. And at that time, I had sole custody for a long time. So why I'm sharing that is this, that work that I did, and I put that timer in my phone. I was so negative about it. But I decided to follow anyway. So I was like, you know what? I really want it. It feels impossible, but I did it anyway. So I want to share that with you, that even if it feels impossible, do it anyway and take these steps anyway. There's universal laws that, yes, mindset will help you go faster. 100%. That's why I'm saying read the book, right? So the more that I changed my mindset and the more that I did this other work and started to tap into feelings, it went faster, but I still kept staying in action. And I want you to write something else down. It's called learn and earn. You can continue to learn, but also still be earning. You don't have to wait to do that. So I put that affirmation in my phone, and like I said, it was around like $2,500 a month. I put that affirmation in. I would go up to 5,000 a month. Let's say a few months later, I went back down to 3,000. I'd go up to 6,000. I'd go back down. But I was making this progress. And one month I made 7,000. I was like, oh my goodness, I'm getting there. And the next month, and this was about 7 months after that event, I hit 17,000. I surpassed the 10,000 and I hit $17,000. And I was just like, oh my goodness, like it didn't even feel possible. And I will tell you right now, still to this day, I still am figuring out more money management, more investing, things like that, because I didn't grow up with money. I didn't come from money. I had to restart over again after a divorce a few years ago. It's not been easy, my friends, for me. I want to share that with you. And I'm sharing my real story with you. And I'm going to share real numbers with you because I had women after those mentors, and that was really the two men leading the way. You know, the one man was married, but he was the one making the money. She was supporting him, and that's great. But when there were some women that came around me and they were millionaires and they were the ones who had done it and mentored me, they said these same things. They said, set these affirmations. Look at yourself every day in the mirror and say, I expect to make $5,000 today. I expect to make $10,000 today. When those women told me how much they made and even would share proof of it, it wasn't from arrogance. It wasn't from ego that I took it. It helped me believe that it was possible for me. And I was talking to one of my clients this week, and she was saying, Tiana, you know, I really struggle with sharing how much my income has grown. And it's grown so much since she started working with me. And it's really exciting. I'll let her share her story when she's ready. But let's just say, like, breaking through the 10K and now starting to double that in just a few months is very exciting for me to see with this client. And so, but she said, I struggle with sharing my income because I don't want it to be, you know, this egotistical thing and things like that. And everyone, you have to do what's right for you. And I'm going to share with you, though, what I say. It is actually very uncomfortable for me to still share my income. And I don't always share it all, and I don't share all my details. And everybody has private rights. And here's what I want to say, though. Sometimes what I do share is because of a specific one lady who mentored me, and she was a millionaire, and her husband got to quit his job. They live in this super big house with a pool, and she's with her kids. And she took me to this Bacara Resort in Santa Barbara. And I remember meeting her there. And at that time, I spent all my gas money just to go meet with her because she offered to mentor me for free. And so I could barely get down there again. It was 2 hours away. I had to get babysitting for the day. I barely had enough money to pay the valet that day. And then we're sitting there overlooking the ocean at this Ritz-Carlton Bacara Resort in Santa Barbara, California. And I remember thinking, I want to be like that. I want to mentor somebody else. And I also want to know what this woman is doing, that she has been able to do this with children and retire her husband, retire in the sense they still work together, but he doesn't have to work a full-time job and do all that. And I wanted that. Put a number 5 in the comments if that's what you want. If you're a man or a woman, you want that for yourself. You want this for your family. You want to be able to live that kind of life. I do. And years later, I hit a $30,000 a month, which I've been trying for years and years. I'd almost hit it for like years, and I finally surpassed it. And I treated myself to a day at the Bacara Resort, stayed there myself, did like what that lady did. I actually hired a photographer. These pictures that you guys see, I'm going to share this with you. The ones that you see over here, this one and this one, this is that in the background. I'll show you the Bacara Resort, Ritz-Carlton. This was a really special time for me because I went and celebrated by myself, and it was such a blessing to get to do it. And I went and stayed, this is where it was. And I got to pay for the hotel room. It was super expensive. And I got to have this bath there and the robe. And this was like the room I was in. And I had this photo shoot there. And why I'm sharing this is like, it's not been easy, but it's been so worth it. And what I have put in place, these systems, is how I've done it. And I am sharing with you right now what it takes to do this. I'm going to give it to you this week, and I will tell you it's all worth it. And it's so life-changing. I get to take my kids. I got to take them when I'm doing a thing right now. It's a personal thing with my life and my business. And I got to take my kids to Santa Monica over Christmas break, and we got to stay in this downtown luxury hotel and wake up the next day, have coffee, have this crazy breakfast in bed, and swim with them. And there were no other women there except they were treated by men. And I just want to say something like, it was not women doing it. It was like all these men there. There's at the Ritz as well as there. I didn't, except that one lady that one time who took me that I saw in that moment. It is usually men taking women or men at these places. And as women, we have an opportunity because of the internet and because of a global economy that we get to tap into with the internet to be the boss that you always dreamed, to have the things you always dreamed. It takes a day in, day out self-discipline. And the hardness is not like the work, it's the mindset. It's the belief that even when it looks like nothing is changing, that you're going to still continue, that you're not going to give up. And so I just want to share with you that it's possible. And I have done it, and I have fought for it, and I've clawed for it. And it doesn't have to be as hard for you. I've helped my clients get to 10K and then 20K months in a couple months rather than years and years like it took me. That's what I get so excited about. So that day when she took me and she helped me, she cut off years. But at that point, I already had been in business for myself for 15 years because I've been in business 20 years, and this was about 5 years ago. And then it was just a year and a half ago, or maybe 2 years now, that I went to the Santa Barbara thing. I think a year and a half ago. So again, I'm sharing this to encourage you, to inspire you, and to tell you that, like, set your goals, set your dreams, set your intentions, because you can do it. But it will take you systems and strategy, mindset and marketing to get to enjoy the fruits of your labor in these other ways. And the cool thing is that with the internet and with your laptop, when these things are up and running, you can travel the world and still take your business calls. You can do all this on the go. You could do it at a campsite in Utah if you want. Like, one of my goals this summer is to go to the it's not the Arcs, it's the Zion National Park in Utah. Or, my kids are wanting to go to the UK, and we're working on that. And I can still take my business calls, even if it's not a total vacation, it's a working vacation. So these systems that I'm sharing with you today are to set you up so that you can create what kind of dream life you want. If that's an extra 5, 10K for your family and you don't even like to travel, cool. That's your business, not mine. And that's okay. Or if you want to create 100K a month and do this thing and launch it, like one of my clients, Kathy, and you'll hear her testimonial story in the group this week. In 90 days, she had 180K launch, if that's your goal. So whether it's an extra 5K, 10K a month, or 100K months, you can do it with these systems. And I've helped my clients do it. So put a number 11 in the comments if you're ready for level 11. You're ready to print out your worksheet. You're ready to go all in on yourself, and you're ready to change your life this week, and that there's no going back. You're never going back. You're going to keep moving forward, even if it's slow at times, or even if you feel like you're a little pessimistic about it. You're going to keep taking action because it's possible. So I hope that you guys have a beautiful day. If you're not in the group, go request to get in the group so you can get access to the PDF. Message me if you want to get on the wait list and get first dibs on my case study and scholarship pricing, which gets released on Wednesday. And go get into action and stay in action. Stay positive. Listen to the Bob Proctor audio and go all in. And remember, if you want to stay qualified in the group, you have to get in the group. And then you need to make sure you're commenting on the affirmations, on the homework. And again, this is not just these are not wasteful time things to keep you busy. We're not children here. We're all business owners with busy lives, with families, with things that are important. I will never ask you to do something that I don't do and that is not truly important to your growth, to your mindset, and to your monetization. So that's what we're going to work on this week, is our habits, our mindset, and our systems for success. I will see you guys tomorrow, same time. The replay will be available in the Facebook group for 24 hours. Let's do this thing. Let's get your 6-figure system set up and have a great day. I'll see you tomorrow.